right, first and foremost, we give all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, who most y'all call Jesus, but his real name in Hebrew is YAHAWAH'S. All right, we are the Israelites, and our purpose in coming out here is to let you so-called black and Hispanic people know just how special y'all are, that we are God's chosen people in the earth. Give me Matthew 5 and 13 in the Good News Translation. But here's the issue. Everybody on the planet Earth knows how special black and Hispanic people are, except for black and Hispanic people. That's why we are the only race of people that get on songs and talk about murdering each other, selling drugs to each other, and degrading our own women. Can anybody answer me this? Can you go anywhere on the planet Earth? Go to the Middle East, go to Asia, go anywhere. And can you find Asian people getting on songs calling Asian women bitches and hoes? Can you go to Japan and hear them talking about killing other Japanese people and making songs about it? Can you hear Japanese or Chinese people getting on songs about smoking on each other? Only so-called black and Hispanic people are the ones that do that. Yet we know how special we are to a degree, but we don't act like it. Let's see what the greatest man who ever walked the face of the planet Earth, who was a so-called black man, let's see what he said. Give me Matthew 5.
It's Matthew 5 and 13 in the GNT. You're like salt for the whole human race.
This is what did Christ say?
You're like salt for the whole human race.
Christ said that we are like salt for the whole human race. Now what does salt do? Salt adds flavor. What are our people known for? We add flavors to food. That's why we cook the best. There's other people on earth that they don't add any flavors to food, that they don't even wash the chicken before they cook it. But we are like salt, like flavor for the whole human race. That's why everybody's going to this concert right now, because we're like salt for the whole human race. That's why the most popular form of music on the planet Earth right now is rap. Now, where did rap come from? Rap came from in the 70s, so-called black and Puerto Rican people in the Bronx talking about their struggles and making songs about it. And now it's the most popular genre of music on the planet Earth. And that shows you how special we are, because we made the most popular genre of music on the earth, and it's not even our own language. When we're rapping in English or in Spanish. We're not from England, we're not from Spain, but we're able to make an entire genre of music, not in our language, and make it the most popular genre of music on the planet Earth, right? But I got a question. I want to ask y'all, who love God by a show of hands? There's got to be somebody that love God. Ain't there only the white girl raised her hand? So I want to ask you black people that think y'all know so much about God that's going to go to church tomorrow, how much y'all love God? By a show of hands. Where are the black people that are going to church tomorrow? Where's somebody that's going to T.D. Jakes' church tomorrow? Or whoever the hell is the pastor out here in North Carolina that say that they love God so much? That say that they know God so much, but they don't even know what color they are. Read that again in Matthew.
Matthew 5 and 13 from the top. You're like salt for the whole human race.
Christ said that we are like salt for the entire planet Earth, for the entire human race.
But if salt loses its saltiness,
loses its flavor,
there's no way to make it salty again. It has become worthless. So it is thrown out and people trample on it.
That's what we have become, worthless, and people trample under us. That's why we live in every major city in this country. Do you think it's a coincidence that black and Hispanic people live in the worst parts of this damn city? That the highest crime rate is going to be where our people live? That the Church's Chicken, the damn Popeyes, the KFC, the dollar store, all the bad fast food places, the liquor store, White Jesus Christian Church, all going to be in the black and Hispanic community? Where's the Whole Foods in the black and Hispanic community, huh? Where's the Wegmans? We're lucky if we get a goddamn Harris Teeter. But we get maybe a Food Line that gets shot up every 2 or 3 days, because the salt has lost its saltiness. And that goes back to you so-called black and Hispanic people not understanding who you are and what your objective is. What you're supposed to be doing is serving God, but instead you want to go and listen to a bunch of music. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with listening to music, but you want to go and listen to music that promotes the degeneracy of your people. Again, I want to ask you black people that know so much. You black people that think y'all know so much, what does God want you to do? Huh? What is God's purpose for you in the earth? To live your life? What is your life? I'm telling you, I'm about to start talking about these cheap wigs that these sisters be wearing, man. I'm going to, because that's not life. That's not the life that God wanted you to live, to wear damn cheap bundles. Go ahead.
Amos 4 and 8, right? 4 and 11. This is Amos chapter 4 verse 11.
But it's all fun and game. Give me Luke 6 and 25. Everybody, see, if I ask all these people what God wants them to do on the earth, what's their purpose in life, every single one of them is going to give me a different answer. And they don't have a problem with giving the wrong answer as to what the most important question in the world is. What does God want me to do in my life? And it's just fine. Oh, just live my life. Live my best life. You're not going to be telling Christ when he comes back, oh, I just wanted to live my best life. You're going to be begging for forgiveness. Go ahead and get that Amos 4 and 10.
This is Amos chapter 4 and verse 11. I have overthrown some of you
as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
God killed a lot of us just like he killed Sodom and Gomorrah. Look at the black and Hispanic community right now. We get murdered by the police. We murder each other. We get murdered through diabetes. We get murdered through all kinds of diseases.
Right.
God is the one that did these things to us because of our disobedience. Now look what else he says. Go ahead.
And ye were as firebrand plucked out of the burning, yet have not returned unto me.
But you don't want to return to God. All these horrible things that God has done to our people, you don't think you want to return unto him? And when we say return to God, we're not talking about return to that white boy, that white Jesus. Because according to the Bible, Jesus is not a white person. According to the Bible, Jesus is a dark-skinned brother with woolly hair. But y'all don't think past that. Let me ask you this. If Christ is a so-called black man, what you think the rest of his family look like? Y'all ever think about something like that? Right. How many of us, brother, did you know that Jesus Christ looked like you? Okay, well, if Jesus looked like you, what you think his mom and his dad look like? Huh? He looked like us, so what does that make us then, brother? See, we're too busy calling ourselves black or Puerto Rican. Black is a color in the crown box. My hair is black, my jacket is black. None of us are the color black, we're brown. So then why do we call ourselves black? Why do we call ourselves Puerto Rican, a rich port? What's going on, sis? You got a question? No? Okay. I got a question for you. You believe in the Bible? No? Okay, you don't read the Bible? What do you read? Nothing? Okay, what do you believe in if you don't mind me asking? Just the universe? Okay, give me Isaiah 42 and 22 in the NLT. I want to show you something in the Bible right quick, right? I know you got to go to the concert or whatnot, so this won't take too long, right? So when I read you this, I want you to tell me what people does it sound like this is describing, right? Give me Isaiah 42 and 22.
Isaiah 42 and 22 in the NLT. But its own people,
It said, but God's own people
have been robbed and plundered,
are people who have been robbed, plundered,
enslaved,
imprisoned,
and trapped.
put in a trap. Don't we got trap music? Trap house? Go ahead.
They are fair game for anyone and have no one to protect them, no one to take them back home.
What does that sound like? That sounds a lot like us, right? Now, this was written over 2,000 years ago, and we see it happening to our people right now. So if the Bible is telling us thousands of years ago what will be happening to his people in the future, and we see it happening to us right now, well, what does that make us? It said that we're God's people. That's why we're the greatest people on earth. That's why we got the most beautiful women. That's why we run the fastest. We jump the highest, cook the best. We do everything the best. If I gave you $1 million, but I said you can't be a black woman no more, would you take it? You wouldn't take it for $1 million. What about $100 million? Was there an amount of money in the world I could give you to not? But think about this. Are there white people I could pay that would pay? That's what Get Out was about. They will pay to be us, and we're on the bottom. But we wouldn't pay to be them, and they're on the top. Because we know that what we have is greater than any amount of money that could be given to us. Because we are God's chosen people. And that's what we're teaching our people, that we are the greatest people on the earth. And there's a reason why we're on the bottom right now. It's because our ancestors have been breaking God's commandments. Right? We've been asking this. I don't want to take too much of your time, sister. But let me ask you this. And I know I'm asking a bunch of questions, but I want to engage, right? So, can you point to any other race of people besides us that get on songs and talk about murdering their own people? Nobody. You don't listen to that type of music? Beautiful. But guess what? Everybody else here, for the most part, does. Unfortunately, they do, right? And we talk about murdering our own people, degrading our own women, selling drugs to each other. Nobody else does that. And because our people have been doing that and we continue to do that, now we see the negative ramifications that happen in our community because of it. So we're telling our people it's the same way Christ is a so-called black man. And all the greatest men and women in this Bible, that they are our people. Our true identity is the Israelites. Moses, David, all those people, that's our true identity. What we got to do is come back to God by keeping his commandments and faith in not the white Jesus, the real one, sis. Right. But the Bible don't say Jesus is white. It said he got hair like wool and skin like it was so dark it got burned in the furnace. So we're not teaching Christianity. See, notice when you go to church, because we all done been to church, right? And you know what never happens in the church? The Bible get opened up and read and explained. What does happen in the church is somebody get on the pulpit with the Bible in their hands. They hold the Bible in their hand like this, and they talk a lot, and they sing and they dance a lot, but there's never any actual reading of it. There's never any explaining of it. So we're actually teaching the Bible. You know what I mean? Teaching our people the truth. So I appreciate you, sister. You got any questions? Do we got flyers? Brothers, we got any? Okay, you got a card? Beautiful, sister. Well, just make sure when you get a chance, sister, just do some research. Appreciate you, sister. You have a good day. Go ahead.
Isaiah 59 and 2 in the NLT. It is your sins that cut you off from your God.
That's the only reason why our people are on the bottom right now. It's not because God doesn't love us. It's not because we're the most talented people on the earth. It's because we keep sinning against God. Why would God want to come and save us when we are still murdering each other at an unprecedented rate? Here's how bad it is. Who knows about the Middle Passage? Anybody? We're what, 2 months removed from Black History Month, and people don't even know what the Middle Passage is. The Middle Passage is the part in the Atlantic Ocean that separated the West Africa and the United States of America. And it is estimated that 2 million of our people died just on the way over here. Not here, just on the way over here. Think about it like this. Let's say instead of them shipping people over here, they were shipping money. And they had so much money that they shipped from West Africa over here that they lost $2 million just shipping it over here. If they lost $2 million, how much money do you think they made? So how much of our people do you think they brought over here, and then look at what they do to us right now? Now we're the first fired, the last hired. Now in Raleigh, North Carolina, in Charlotte, in New York, in every major city in this country, again, we live in the worst neighborhoods. And give me Deuteronomy 28 and 43. And not only do we live in the worst neighborhoods, but the people who enslaved us and sat back and watched us get enslaved, they live in the best neighborhoods. Because when you think about like the rich area or the poor area, let's just make it, the rich area is for everybody else. The poor area is for Black and Hispanic people. The rich area is it's white majority, but then you're gonna have Asians over there. You're gonna have East Indians over there, right? And these are the people who have sat back and watched us go into slavery and did nothing about it. Where we at? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 43.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 43. The stranger that is within thee.
It says the stranger that is within thee. The East Indian who doesn't know how to speak English, who just came back from Mumbai, right? He's going to come over here and he's going to get a job selling you fake jewelry in the middle of the mall, getting hundreds of thousands of dollars. The stranger that is within thee, go ahead,
shall get up above thee very high. And thou shalt come down very low.
Family, can I ask y'all something? Have you ever seen a Black-owned gas station? A Black-owned one? Have you ever, brother? No? Have you seen an Arab-owned gas station? Have every gas station you've been to either probably been an Arab that owned it? Now, how is that? Arab or a white person, maybe, right? Where's the Black-owned gas station? How in the Black community there's not a single Black-owned gas station? How every 7-Eleven got an Indian working at it? Not one Black person thought, let me try to own a 7-Eleven. No, because it said, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above you very high, and you shall come down very low. That's why in the Black community, you're going to have a Chinese restaurant in every single one of them. But there's not a soul food restaurant in the Chinese community. There's not a Mexican restaurant in the Indian community. But there sure is one of those in the Black or Hispanic community. Because they're taking advantage, what they're doing is something that they have always done. It's taking advantage of a people who already don't have anything. We already don't know where we come from. We call ourselves Black. We call ourselves African American. What country do you Black people come from in Africa? Do you know? Where do you come from? West Africa? There's 24 countries in West Africa. Which one you come from? Why everybody else on the planet Earth know exactly where they come from? I can't go to an Asian person and they tell me, well, I'm an Asian American. They're not going to say that. They're going to say, I'm Japanese or I'm Chinese. And they're damn sure not going to say, I'm yellow. But you say you're Black. But you're not Black, you're brown. Everybody else on the planet Earth is brown except for white people. So that's not a proper identity. So who are you actually? Who you are actually is God's chosen people, the greatest people on the earth. The Israelites. Jesus Christ in the Bible is described as a man with dark skin and woolly hair. We all heard this before, right? Haven't we heard this? So if Jesus Christ looks like that, what do you think the rest of his people look like? These are the questions that we're asking y'all. If Jesus Christ is described as a Black man in the Bible, what do you think his cousins look like? What do you think his aunties and uncles and them look like? These are the questions that you have to start asking yourself. And you have to also start asking yourselves, why are we the only race of people on the earth that get on songs and talk about murdering each other? Now, everybody can act like I'm not telling the truth right now and ignore me and act like that's not a big problem, but it is a big problem. Because not only do we get on songs and talk about murdering each other, now we got young Black children, young Hispanic children that look up to all these artists that are talking about murdering each other. But even when you look at the money that's made off of this music, we don't even make most of the money off of this music when we talk about murdering each other. White people make more money off of us talking about killing each other than we do. So we don't benefit both ways, either literally because we're talking about murdering each other, and then financially because we don't even make most of the money off of this stuff, man. But let's just listen to the young brothers that are trying to teach our people the truth and just, hopefully I'll forget about it and go listen to damn Sexy Red talk about shaking her ass or something, man. That's the truth. That's what you Black people would rather listen to. And that's why you live in the worst ghetto in America, man. That's why you have the worst jobs. That's why you have the highest high school dropout rate and the lowest graduation rate. That's why you have the highest poverty rate That's why everything negative you lead in statistically, and everything positive, you are on the bottom statistically. Because instead of listening to the truth, you would rather go and do whatever the hell it is that you want to do. Give me Isaiah 30 in the NLT. Start at verse 9. Give me a Psalm 44 and 14. Bring it in the NLT real quick. Because what we're going to do is tell you black and Hispanic people the truth, whether you like it or not. Right. Because you've been getting lied to, the easy and the peaceful lies, what you've been getting told for 500 years. You've been getting told Jesus loves you and all you got to do is believe in Jesus and be kind to others. Black people have been kind to everybody else except for themselves, though. That's the problem. When black and Hispanic people hear, love your neighbor as yourself, you don't ever think, love my brother that I have a grudge with because he stepped on my Jordans or he owes me some money. You don't ever think of love my people that grew up across the railroad tracks who, they family beef with my family, but we're all the same people, so we should let bygones be bygones. When you hear let bygones be bygones, you think let white people, what they've done to you, let them get away with it. That's the problem. What's up, my brother? You got a question, King? We teaching the Bible. Okay, well, you familiar with this information? No? Okay, you believe in the Bible? Okay, what did Jesus look like in the Bible? He had a fro? Okay, and he had what type of skin did he have? Like yours. So Jesus looked like you, right? Okay, so what do you think the rest of these people look like, brother?
That's a great question.
They gotta look something like you, right? So what we're teaching our people is not only the Jesus, but the rest of his people, the Israelites. They look just like us, brother. That's our true identity. So when you get a chance, do some research, my brother. All right, we are the Israelites. That's our true identity.
That's right.
All praise to the Most High. Give me Psalm 44 and 14 in the NLT. Go ahead.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 44, verse 14. You have made us the butt of their jokes.
You have what?
Made us the butt of their jokes.
That's what black and Hispanic people are in this country. We're the butt of their jokes. That's exactly, you know why we're the butt of their jokes? Because we act like a joke. How are we going to demand respect from people and we don't even respect ourselves? We don't even respect each other. Right. What's respectable about us getting on songs that's about murdering each other? Huh? I need somebody to please answer me that. But nobody will answer that because they know the truth. And so instead of accepting the truth and making a change, give me John 3:19, they have to ignore it. Because the truth hurts. And that's exactly what black people need. That's exactly what Hispanic people need, is that truth that's going to hurt you. But afterwards, it's going to make you feel good. Brussels sprouts don't taste good, but they're good for you. But you'd rather get the red 40 and the blue 5 and the yellow 1. That's what you'd rather get and that's why you have diabetes at the highest rate. Speaking of that, you want the worst physical food and you want the worst spiritual food. Go ahead.
Well, John.
No, keep going to Psalm 44. Finish that.
I'm going to start from the top. You have made us their butt of their jokes.
It said you made us the butt of their jokes. How do you think white people feel when they look at Sexy Red talking about shaking her ass and look at young black girls and young Hispanic girls shaking their behind, man? They look at you like you're a goddamn joke is what they do. Go ahead.
They shake their heads at us in scorn.
They what?
Shake their heads at us in scorn.
You can't tell me that our behavior hasn't made the whole world look at us and shake their head. Look at these niggas, man. So not only did they get to kidnap us from West Africa, kidnap us from Puerto Rico, kidnap us from the Dominican Republic, steal our culture from us, steal our language from us. We're speaking English right now. None of our ancestors came from England. You don't understand that? We're speaking in a language with our slave masters' last names. And instead of saying, you know what, all these horrible things have happened to our people, why don't we start loving each other? We now get on songs and talk about murdering each other. Right. But you will never go on a song and talk about murdering Europeans. You'll never get on a song and talk about murdering Asian people. I'm not telling nobody to get on a song and talk about murdering anybody. But I'm saying, damn, why you gotta talk about murdering us? Why do black people gotta get on a song and talk about killing people that look like them? Nobody else on the planet Earth would do that. You know why? Because they're not completely been brainwashed. Black people have been brainwashed. Who do you think sit back and laughs the most at black people talking about murdering each other? Huh? Nobody wants to answer that question? Because you know the damn answer, that's why. Give me John 3:19.
It's John 3:19. And this is the condemnation.
This is what Jesus Christ said. He said, this is the condemnation. Now, someone prove me to be a liar, and I'll pack up, I'll go home right now. But I want someone to tell me if I'm lying or not. But y'all know that I'm telling the truth. That's why you got to keep looking that way. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. We're going to cross the street in the next 2 minutes, and then I'll forget about it. But it said, this is the condemnation. That light is coming to the world, and what?
That light is coming to the world. And men love darkness rather than light.
That's the problem. Men love darkness rather than light. Instead of listening to the truth that you know is true, you'd much rather listen to darkness because it makes you feel good. It doesn't feel good to go and listen to the lights. That's why whenever your mother or your father woke you up to go to school and they turn the lights on, what did it first do? Your eyes started to hurt. But then your eyes got adjusted to the light. But at first that shows you, at first the truth is gonna hurt. But then you have to grow within the truth and get accustomed to it. But a lot of people would much rather just stay asleep. And that's what black people have been in, and that's what Hispanic people have been in for the past 400 years. A perpetual sleep where you let everybody else take advantage of you and you do nothing in response to it. Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 9 in the GNT. But you are a chosen race.
It said, but we're a chosen race. Everybody knows that our people are the chosen people on the earth. That's why everybody else wants to be like us. That's why everybody else wants to dress like us. They want to sing and dance and rap like us and cook like us, but they could never be us. And that's why they hate us. They hate us because they ain't us. And they hate us because it's a form of flattery. Because they can't act like us, they want to kill us. That's really what it boils down to, right? But it says we are a chosen race. Go ahead.
But you are a chosen race, the king's priests, the holy nation.
God, we've been acting like a holy nation. Have black people and Hispanic people act like we are God's chosen people, even though we are? No, we have not. What type of chosen people gets on songs and talks about murdering each other and promotes their women acting all kind of degenerately? Huh? How does it? Would you let your daughter listen to Sexy Red? That's what I ask y'all. Would y'all niggas let y'all daughter listen to Sexy Red? Y'all roll in your goddamn grave if you found that your granddaughter became Sexy Red. Y'all know it to be true. So why do you support it then? Huh? How horrible would, see, it's all fun and games till one of your friends gets smoked. Till one of y'all niggas get your head blown off, man. Then it's funny, and then let's smoke on Tuka until you become Tuka. Till your little brother gets put in a damn t-shirt. Now it's not funny then. But you go and support it, and I'll talk about how all these young niggas talking about murdering each other. But it's just music, brother. It's just music. Do you know what music is? It's entertainment. So what you're telling me is it's entertaining to get on songs and listen to black people talk about murdering each other, and black women talk about degrading each other. That's why they got it right up the street. Now someone tell me I'm lying. That's what entertains you, and that's why everybody laughs at black people, because you act stupid, man. Because you act like a goddamn chicken with your head cut off. That's funny to you? It'd be like if a Jewish person started talking about the support of the Nazis. You guys support the Nazis. When you listen to Little Dirk, you're supporting the Nazis. Because what did Hitler do? Talk about murdering people. What do Lil Durk and a lot of these rappers talk about? Murdering people. It's the same thing. But he's talking about murdering your own people. At least Hitler was talking about murdering other people. We're talking about murdering each other. Go ahead.
The holy nation, God's own people, chosen to proclaim the wonderful acts of God.
Give me Hosea 4 in the NLT. That's what we're supposed to be. God's holy people, God's chosen people. But we don't act like God's chosen people. And that's why little Tanner, see, you think it's funny, but that's why little white boys can listen to Travis Scott and Future and all them and sing along to black people talking about murdering each other, and it's entertainment to them. And when they're talking about smoking on this nigga, they're singing along, and it's all funny to them. But it's not funny to us. These are real people. Don't you know Tuka was a real person? When he was 15 years old, 14 years old, when he got shot in the head in Chicago, Illinois. What's going on, sis? I see you've been listening. You agree or you disagree with what we've been saying so far?
I haven't heard a lot, but I agree with the Bible.
You agree with the Bible? Okay. Now, according to the Bible, how do you show God that you love Him?
Great question.
You said what? You love His people. How do you show God that you love His people? I'm not trying to play 21 questions, but this is important, right? Is there anything more important than getting to heaven, salvation? Nothing, right? So we should know right on top of the head the exact answer, right? So I'm gonna show you what the Bible says, sis. Go ahead.
It's the book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 3. Verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God.
This is how we know we love God's people, like you said. This is how we know we love the children of God.
When we love God and keep His commandments.
When we love God and keep His commandments. So now, sister, what are the commandments that we have to keep to show God's children and God that we love Him? There's a lot, right? Like what? Because think about this. When we say 10 commandments, right? Now think about this. Moses was on that mountain, Mount Sinai, for 40 days and 40 nights. How long would it take you to write down 10 commandments? Would it take you 40 days? It wouldn't even take you 40 minutes. So he was writing a whole lot more than just 10 commandments, right? That's why you see brothers wearing fringes and these things on the bottom of our shirts. These are commandments from God. Things that we're allowed to eat, things that we're not allowed to eat. How we're supposed to treat our people, how we're not supposed to treat our people. These are commandments that we were given by God in the Bible. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Right? What's your nationality, if you don't mind me asking? Puerto Rican. Beautiful. Now let me ask you this. What does the word Puerto Rican mean? Puerto Rican, rich port. A port of riches. Is that what the Taino refer to themselves as? Puerto Ricans? The Taino, the indigenous people of Puerto Rico. No, they did not. Spanish people called it Puerto Rico. Why did they call it Puerto Rico? No, I got you. I'm just asking the question rhetorically, right? So they called it Puerto Rico because of all the money and the wealth that they stole. So when you get a chance, sister, look up the Hebrew Israelites. That's our true identity, sister. All right? All praise to the Most High. That's fine. You can drop that. Where we at? You got something? Give me Hosea 4. It started verse 1 in the NLT. Go ahead.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, O people of Israel.
It says what?
Hear the word of the Lord, O people of Israel.
See, y'all maybe going to go to church tomorrow and you're going to listen to that reverend. You're going to listen to that pastor lie to you. And not only are you going to listen to that pastor lie to you, you're going to pay that pastor to lie to you. Because you would much rather listen to things that make you feel good rather than things that'll make you do good. That's the problem with you black and Hispanic people. So what we're going to do is teach you what God actually says, not what makes you feel good. Because black people have been listening to what makes them feel good for 500 years. And guess what? 500 years ago, we lived in the worst communities. And guess what we live in now? The worst communities still. Nothing has gotten better for us. So isn't the definition of insanity trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result? Isn't that what they say? So guess what? We are here to diagnose most of you black and Hispanic people as being mentally insane. You belong in a goddamn psych ward, most of y'all. You pray, everybody else's God look like them except for yours. You pray to a God that look like the people that enslaved you. That sounds pretty insane to me. But no, we're crazy because we're telling you the truth. Isn't that crazy? That's how you know we live in a crazy world. That's why Paul says that we live in a present evil world that Christ has to deliver us from. Where the light is as darkness and the darkness is as light. Where when you try to tell the truth to people, now they look at you crazy. But they call themselves black or Puerto Rican and they're not crazy. Where they get on songs and talk about murdering each other and they're not crazy. That sounds pretty crazy to me. Go ahead.
The Lord has brought charges against you.
It says what?
The Lord has brought charges against you.
God got a RICO against so-called black and Hispanic people. He got a racketeering indictment against y'all. Why does he? He's about to list the reasons why. Go ahead.
Saying there is no faithfulness, no kindness.
There's no what?
No faithfulness, no kindness.
There's no kindness. Now you might think, yeah, I'm a kind person. Here's the issue though. As a collective, so-called black people and Hispanic people, we're not kind to each other. We're kind to white people. We're kind to Asian people. Black people aren't kind to each other though. Tell me I'm lying. We're not kind to each other. How can we be kind to each other and Future get on songs talk about calling women bitches and whores, huh? How is that kindness? How would we allow that? Do you think an Arab person in Saudi Arabia would allow Habibi to get on a song and call another Arab woman a bitch or a hoe? Do you think he would allow that? Do you think Habibi would allow another Muhammad to get on a song and talk about killing other Arabs? Do you think he would allow that? No, he get yanked up. He wouldn't even think to do it because he'd been raised in a culture that wouldn't allow it. So they wouldn't even have the thought to do so. Not only do we have the thought to do so, we go and do it, and then a nigga get on your comment section and encourage you. Keep going, twin. Yeah, you almost there. and your whole song could be talking about murdering people and selling drugs and doing drugs. And they won't say, hey, brother, are you okay? Let me pull you to this. You sure you all right? You talk about popping 3 damn pills of Percocet. You sure you all right drinking all this lean? You sure you okay, brother? Nah, bro, this the wave. That song was fire, bro. I'm going to share it on all my platforms. That's what our people will do. And you wonder why black people are laughed at all over the world. Because you act like a goddamn joke. That's why. Go ahead.
No knowledge of God in your land.
You have no knowledge of God. Y'all think y'all know God. Everybody has their own. It's so funny to hear this. Who has a personal relationship with God? By a show of hands. Somebody do, right? Everybody in the crowd. Who got a relationship with God? Who has their own personal relationship with their Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? I know it. Okay. So, sister, let me ask you this. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but you raised your hand, right? So, how do you show God that you love Him, sis? You said you just what? You just chat with Him? Okay, give me John chapter 9, verse 31. Now, I want to read you this verse in the Bible, sister, and I want to get what your thoughts. I understand, but you said Him, so you identify. How many gods do you believe in, sister? There's one, and it's a Him. So that God is the God of the Bible. The one God that's a masculine God comes from the Bible, whether you like it or not, right? So even though you don't read the Bible, the God that you say you believe in comes directly from the Bible. And the God that comes directly from the Bible had this get written down, sister. Nobody wants to listen. Okay, but I bet you everybody wants to listen to Sexy Red talk about shaking her ass. Right. Shake your asshole. That's what she say, right? There we go. Yeah, well, listen to that. And that's why all over the world, nobody respects black people. Right? Nobody does. Nah, we got to get it with it. Even when it's not even the crosswalk signs I'm on, we got to get away from that. This is why black people are not respected all over the world. Because you would rather listen to Shake That Ass Ho than listen to the words of God, listen to the words of the Bible. A prime example of that. Look at, she ran across both streets. She ran across both of what she belongs to, the streets. Go ahead.
All right.
No, John, Hosea, go ahead.
Okay, Hosea, come on. You make vows and break them.
What does it mean you make vows and break them? I can't stand when niggas do this on God. How many niggas we know say on God and be bold-faced lying to you? Bro, man, on God, I ain't steal that. Nigga got it in his pocket, but he's talking about on God. This is what God has a problem with. You're putting something on God or your mama or your dead homies, and nigga, you lying on them. Go ahead.
You kill.
You says you what?
You kill.
What do?
You kill.
And guess what we do? We kill each other, and we get on songs, and we rap about it. Tell me I'm lying. Can somebody please show me another race of people on the earth that do that? I've been begging. Someone show me, please. Brother, can you show me anybody on the earth that get on songs and murder each other besides black and Hispanic people? Just one race. There's all kind of options, right? Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, Arabs, Koreans. There's all these races on there. Just pick one. Is there a single one? There's not a single one. But let's just act like that's not a big deal. You don't think your children are going to listen to that music? Huh? Don't you know black children, we all listen to this type of music growing up. And guess, a lot of us, like, I started doing drugs when I was younger because I heard Future talking about doing drugs. Or Young Jeezy got a whole album, Trap Motivation. We got, hold on, I can't remember. There's one of these niggas got on songs, I can't remember who it is, and literally gives the step-by-step details on how to cook crack. Was it Master P? It was Master P. Got on song talking about step one, and they're talking about how to cook crack. C-Murder, talking about how to cook crack. Don't you know black children listen to this music? Don't you know black children listen to Shake That Asshole? Don't you know that children, babies listen to this? But it's funny until your daughter shakes her ass and gets pregnant, huh? Now it's okay. How do we put up with this? Now it's not funny then, is it? Go ahead.
You kill and steal.
You kill and steal, but you don't kill and steal from the people who have killed and stolen from you. I'm not saying you should, but goddamn, if you're gonna do it to them at least.
Right.
Go ahead.
And commit adultery.
And do what?
Commit adultery.
How many songs are we about to get ready to listen to talking about committing adultery? Tell me this is not what black and Hispanic, for the most part, our music that we're getting ready to march up in here and listen to is about. Killing each other, doing drugs, lying, and committing adultery. But it's okay, right? It's okay. Only God can judge me. You know that's a Tupac song, right? You know it's nowhere in the Bible. Give me Zechariah chapter 7, verse 9. Here's the problem, though. You black and Hispanic people don't read the Bible. It was just Easter. Maybe you opened the Bible on Easter. You turned to a random page in the New Testament. You wanted to deceive yourself in thinking that you're a child of God and that God really just enjoys your life. And you just read a random chapter in Corinthians. You didn't know what the hell was going on. You just read it, though. You just read it. That's it. You just read. Anybody can read something. You didn't apply any of it in your life. You just read it and you're like, huh, wow. Okay, then you probably went, smoked a blunt, committed adultery, man. Where we at? What I call for? Give me Zechariah 7:9. Let's see what God says, not your lying ass pastor. Go ahead.
It's Zechariah 7:8, and the word of the Lord came unto Zechariah.
No, the word of future.
The word of the Lord came unto Zechariah, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts.
Thus speaketh who?
The Lord of hosts.
Your auntie.
The Lord of hosts.
Your mama who teaches at church when she ain't supposed to.
The Lord of hosts.
Okay, go ahead.
Saying, execute true judgment.
No, don't judge people.
True judgment.
Says do what?
Execute true judgment.
God says execute true judgment. But you're saying only God can judge. That's not what the Bible says. The Bible doesn't say only God can judge. Black people have been brainwashed, believe only God can judge. And if black people and Hispanic people believed and understood that not only God can judge, but that we need to hold each other accountable, all these problems that we see in our community would disappear. There would never be a brother that would be pimping out his own women. There would never be a prostitute. There would never be a dope boy in the black or Hispanic community because we would hold each other accountable. You don't see the epidemic of murder and selling drugs and prostitution like you do amongst our people in Saudi Arabia, in Iran, or in India or Pakistan. You don't see these things because they would hold each other accountable. They would never let them get on a song and talk about murdering another Indian person. You know why? Because Indian people love Indian people. Arabs love Arabs. But the problem is black people don't love black people. Black people love white people. And nobody loves black people. That's the problem. Nobody loves us, even us. Now someone tell me I'm lying. Really? If I'm lying, why are we getting ready to go to a song and we're going to go to a concert and half the music is going to be talking about murdering each other? I've asked this for the last 40 minutes. And I'm begging someone to tell me, just name one other This policeman is listening. He nodded his head a couple times. He knows I'm telling the truth. There you go. Half the calls he gets is going to be black people killing each other.
That's right.
But here's the hypocrisy amongst you so-called black people, right? The police will murder one of us, and we'll march up and down the streets, and we'll say Black Lives Matter. And we're right. Black lives do matter. But what about when we kill each other? Well, I'm not trying to nullify or exonerate white people for murdering us at all. But what about when we go to the abortion clinic and we murder hundreds of thousands of our children every single year? What about that? Don't black children matter? You going to talk about Black Lives Matter when you kill each other? Right? What's going on, brother? What's your nationality, bro? Go ahead.
There is violence everywhere.
It says there is what?
Violence everywhere.
So what are some of the characteristics of our community? It said there will be people who would be lying on God, committing adultery, murdering each other, and just all-out violence everywhere. You can't tell me that ain't talking about Durham, North Carolina. You can't tell me. We got Fayetteville. It's called Vietnam. Why is it called Vietnam? Do a lot of Vietnamese people live there? Huh? Is there a little Vietnam in Fayetteville? Is that what's going on? Or are black people killing each other and Hispanic people killing each other at such an unprecedented rate that it's like the Vietnam War? Huh? What about Chirac? Do they call North Hills here in Raleigh Raleigh-Rack? Huh? Do they call it that? No, they don't. But you got different parts of the black and Hispanic community that they name after literal war zones, where we sit there and we kill each other and make songs about it. And when brothers try to get on the streets and teach our people the truth for free, we just walk up and down the street. And in one sister's case, run her ass up the street. And she should keep running. She could definitely use it. But where are we at? Go ahead.
One murder after another.
Oh my goodness. Read it again. Read it from the top.
There is violence everywhere.
It says there's violence everywhere. Go ahead.
One murder after another.
One murder after another. And then we get on a song and we talk about it and glorify it. And it's not like we get on a song and we just talk about the oppression and the downtrodden, all the, it's not like we speak about bringing pain to power and talk about what we've gone through and things of that nature. That's not what you're talking about. You're getting on these songs and you're glorifying these murders. And in some cases, like King Von, that nigga was talking about the murders that he actually committed. Go ahead. But the problem is, if you could choose to bring one person back, Jesus Christ or King Von, you niggas would bring King Von back. I know you would, man. I know you would. Go ahead.
That is why your land is in mourning.
That's why our land is in mourning. And that's why we live in the worst neighborhoods everywhere, all throughout this planet. It's because we would much rather listen to King Von than we would rather listen to King Jesus. That's a problem. Go ahead and get that in Isaiah 30.
Okay, I got you. I pull up ESV.
What you got? Okay, give me Isaiah 30 in the ESV.
Okay. It's Isaiah 30 and 9. I'm going to start at 8 in the ESV. And now, go write it before them on a tablet and inscribe it in a book, that it may be for the time to come.
He's got it. Matter of fact, give me Isaiah 30 in the NLT. He's got it in the NLT. Give me Isaiah 30. Bring out whatever precepts you have, brother.
Go ahead. It's Hebrews. It's Hebrews 10 and verse 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God.
But that's the problem. So, someone hold up Caesar right quick, by Baba Kasha. The problem is you get taught and you get told that you can do whatever you want your entire life. And all you got to do is when you're getting ready to die, like you black people have an idea of when you're getting ready to die, when a straight bullet can hit you at any damn moment. Like we don't die quicker than any other race on the planet. But when you get ready to die, you can live a whole lifestyle of being evil as hell. But as long as you say, my bad, Jesus, then you're good. You get to go to heaven. Where in the hell is that in the Bible? But the problem is you guys don't get taught how terrifying God is in the Bible. You think God is just this all-loving, kind, nice guy. There's nothing more terrifying than God in the Bible. One of the first things God does in the Bible is kill everyone and everything except Noah, his family, and then a couple animals. He kills by drowning. That's like the top fear. That's one of my fears is drowning. What? I don't want to drown. You kidding me? God drowns old people. God drowned children. God did that in the Bible. You don't think that's someone to fear? Huh? Don't you know that Jesus Christ, the most righteous person in the history of the planet Earth, God killed him after he begged him not to do it. And he didn't do nothing wrong. And you niggas is doing wrong right now. And you think that you gonna get away with it? When the man who never did wrong didn't get away with anything that he ever did? This is the problem with you so-called black and Hispanic people though. You don't get taught the truth of the Bible. You get taught Christianity, but the problem is Christianity was given to you by your slave master. How is a religion that's given to you by your slave master supposed to liberate you? That's the question. Huh? How is a religion that was given to you by your slave master going to save you, going to liberate you, going to help you? Huh? Black people have been celebrating Christianity and celebrating Christmas and Easter, being good Christians for 500 years. What has it done for us? Someone please tell me what believing in Christianity has done for black people. It's done nothing for us. We are still living in the same ghettos that we lived in since we got here in Jamestown, Virginia in 1619. Nothing has changed. So what it's time for is so-called black and Hispanic people to love. But when I say love, everybody's mind just went to a white person in their minds. No, you got to love your own people. Because again, we're going to reiterate it. The problem is nobody loves Arabs more than Arabs. Nobody loves Asian people more than Asian people. And nobody loves white people more than black people. And nobody loves black people at all. Nobody loves Hispanic people at all. And so what we're telling our people is to love one another. Because everybody else loves each other except for us. When you go to a Chinese restaurant, you ever see black people working there? Huh? You're going to see Jing Sung or Mary Sue. She's going to be working there. They're not going to employ you. Go try to apply for a job there. They're going to act like they don't know English. Huh? Go try to work at that gas station. Nigga, they ain't going to let you work at that gas station. Listen, they'll let Habibi, who don't know no English, they'll let him work there, but you built this country and they won't employ you. How crazy is that? But that's the reason why is because this whole world belongs to us. You shouldn't be okay with just living in the ghetto. But when they was giving out the stimulus checks, you didn't hear a peep from niggas, man. When they was giving $1,200 stimulus checks, nigga got a new PS5, maybe got a VSOP, bottle of Hennessy, and a new NBA 2K. You ain't hear nothing from niggas for about a month and a half, man. Then one of us got murdered, and then we marched up and down the streets. It's a cycle. The police kill one of us, we march up and down the streets, burn down a community. And then we go back to killing each other. Then they kill one of us, and it's a goddamn cycle, man. Where we at? Isaiah 30. Start at verse 8.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 8. Now go and write down these words. Write them in a book.
It says write them in a book. And there's a saying, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. Because you niggas don't read. You read Instagram comments, but you don't read books. Go ahead.
They will stand until the end of time.
You read lyrics. You read shake that asshole. That's what you read. Go ahead.
As a witness that these people...
Is that really music now? Like, I remember when I was growing up, the generation before me was talking about how bad my music was. But at least my music had lovers and friends. At least we had that. What's the music nowadays? What's the music? I mean, I'm talking about, it's just, like, it's so obvious how degenerate it is. You know what I mean? What's going on, sisters? Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all plan on having children? You don't know? Okay, well, if you did have a child, sister, would you want her to grow up and listen to Sexy Red? Would you let her do that? Okay, so what if your daughter wants to be a prostitute? You let her do that? Like, be a prostitute, that's totally fine with you? Whatever she wants. And this is why nobody, I got you, and this is why nobody respects black people. Because we'll just let our daughters be a prostitute. Now, how am I supposed to respect that? Yeah, I'm black. Well, guess what? Neither of us are black. Your shirt is black.
That's right.
So now what? Now what, sister? Hold on, you're talking about whether or not I have two black parents, and you're saying that you would let your daughter be a prostitute. What's the bigger issue? Your daughter can grow up and be a whore, not mine. I know. You know why? Give me Ezekiel 16 and 44. I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna know why. I'm gonna show you why she will let her daughter grow up to be a whore. It's because the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. That's why. Give me Ezekiel 16 and 44. But hold on, real quick. That's not an attack on the sister. You know why? Because we weren't taught no better. We were taught to be whores. On slave plantations, there were white slave masters who would slut out our mothers and our grandmothers. So of course we're going to grow up and be degenerate because this is the culture that was given to us by our slave master. But instead of looking at that and say, damn, that's a big problem. Maybe we should not act like that. Now we're going to emulate the people that enslaved us. Where you got what I'm looking for?
Ezekiel 16 and 44. Behold, everyone that uses proverbs.
Everyone is going to use this proverb, this saying. What are they going to say?
Shall use the proverb against thee, saying, as the mother.
As the mother.
So is her daughter.
So is her daughter. So of course she's going to let her daughter be a prostitute. We have songs right now. What are black and Hispanic music? What are we propagating right now on the earth? Are we propagating and promoting loving each other? Or are we promoting murdering each other and just being a whore? Huh? What are the city girls promoting? Being a whore, being a slut. That's it. How is that empowering for black people? Someone please tell me that. How is that going to fix the problem that has been befalling black people for the past 500 years? But that's okay, because God has an answer for what's going to happen. Because if it was up to black people, we would go back into slavery. If it was up to y'all, we would pack up right now. We would go right back to the damn sugarcane plantation of the cotton field. That's why everybody, huh? Yeah, we go build a golden calf. She said, do you have 2 black parents? Your daughter is a slut. What are you talking about 2 black parents for? Your daughter has 2 black parents, and she's going to be a whore. What does that got to do with anything? She wishes she what? She's definitely not, listen, she's not getting any one of us up here, I'll tell you that. I wouldn't touch the sister with a 10-foot pole. Where we at? Much love to her, you know, but I'm just saying. Where we at? How would that get Isaiah 30?
I'm gonna start it over. They will stay.
Imagine you tell your I bet you won't tell your grandmama that. Boy, your grandma smack the dogs. Man, what? Imagine going up to your grandma and saying to her, yeah, your great-grandchild, I don't care if she's a whore. Nigga, she gonna slap the taste out your mouth. Are you kidding me? She gonna beat the piss out you. But our generation of people right now is it's just a bunch of murderers and whores. Wow. And people looking back like I'm just crazy. Sister, you know I'm telling the truth. Yeah, you're looking like I'm crazy. You know I'm telling the truth. There's not a single lie that I've said up to this point. Not one. Go ahead.
They will stand until the end of time as a witness that these people.
That what?
That these people.
That what?
That these people.
Yeah, you people. Yeah, what do you mean you? I mean you people. You people that get on songs and talk about murdering each other, right? What a nigga got if he ain't spending it? Those people. Effing on a rich ass, scamming ass nigga. That's empowering to black people for real. That's what we want our children to listen to. Slut me out. This is the type of song. This is actual lyrics. These are black children that actually listen to this stuff. Now I want to ask y'all: would y'all let your children listen to this type of music? How would you feel if your daughter became a whore because of the music that she listened to? Honestly, are there any fathers in here? Any black fathers? Any black fathers or mothers? Anybody? Sister, how would you feel if your daughter grew up to be a whore because of the music she listened to? Would you care? Yeah? Well, doesn't this music promote our women being promiscuous? It does. So that's bad, right? So what are we going to do about it? Does it matter? We can do something, sister. The only reason why we can't do anything is because we're saying we can't do anything. Because watch this. Rap music became the most popular form of music in the world, and that New York hat that brother's got became the most popular hat in the world because black people made it popular. So if black people make promoting the love of black people in the world popular, guess what? It will become the most popular. We are the trendsetters of the entire planet Earth. But instead of trendsetting loving each other, now we want to trendset killing each other. Getting on songs. Like, again, I want to ask y'all, can y'all name a single race of people on the earth besides our people that get on songs and talk about murdering their own people, degrading their own women, and selling drugs to each other? Huh? I have never heard an Asian get on a song and talk about drinking lean. Never. Not a single time in my life. I've never heard an Asian get on a song about smoking on Jingdong or Changsu. I ain't heard it. Never in my life. Now, if someone can point it to me, I'll watch it. I've never heard Taylor Swift get on. Imagine if Taylor Swift got on a song and she talk about riding on a tractor, doing a drive-by, shooting up Karen's house. It'll be an outrage because white people love each other. They value each other. The problem is black people, we don't value each other. So you know why we don't value each other? Hold up Caesar one more time. Here's why we don't value each other. Because we don't value ourselves. When we pray to God at night, when we were children, we see this image in our mind. We see a white God, the opposite of what looks like us. You wear white to weddings, you wear black to funerals. Angels' food cake is white, devil's food cake is black. So you associate everything that's negative with people that look like you, and everything positive with people that look like the ones who enslaved your people. And so now, when a nigga get on a song and talk about smoking on a nigga, you don't pay it no mind because he's just another nigga like you. And you don't think niggas are worth nothing. But guess what? The greatest men in the Bible were called niggas. Give me Acts 13:1. The greatest people in the Bible were called niggas. So when you hear somebody talk about smoking on this nigga, doing this to that nigga, that should be an attack on you. That's supposed to make you feel some type of way. Give me Acts 13:1 in the first in the King James, then get the NLT.
He'll get the answer. Go ahead. Acts 13:1 in the KJV. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon.
Now what was he called? What was this great man Barnabas Simeon? What was he called?
That was called nigger.
What was he called?
Nigger.
What was he called?
Nigger.
Guess what? And we're not reading. Oh, it's supposed to be Niger. No, it's not. If you look in the Greek, it's the Strong's Concordance is niger. So it's just a Frenchman saying it. Niger. You're not a nigger, you're a niger. But I bet you if a white person calls you a nigger, you're gonna treat it just like you call you a nigger. You big dummy, it's the same thing. Right? We'll play it for you if you don't believe us. If we put the mic up to one of these white people and he said, all we have to do in order to convince you black people of something is just say, Hey, Mr. Boss Man. Hey, Mr. White Man. Are we telling the truth? Yes, boy. He's teaching the truth. Oh, he's got to be telling the truth. The white man said so. But it says, back to the point, it says that the prophets of God were called the same racial epithet that we are called and we call ourselves nowadays. So what does that mean? Last time I checked, Mark Zuckerberg was never called nigger. I haven't heard him called nigger in my entire life. Huh? No, but the point is, Mark Zuckerberg is a Jewish person, right? He's never been called a nigger in his life. But we're called that, and that lets you know that we are God's chosen people. Right? Where we at?
This is Psalm 52:3. Thou lovest evil more than good.
That's our people. You love evil more than good. That's why when good gets presented to you for free, you don't want nothing to do with it. But you'll literally go pay to listen to the degenerate behavior of our people. You'll go pay hundreds of dollars. VIP. Let me take a picture with this nigga. I want to take a picture with this nigga who talks about murdering my own people. Go ahead.
And lying rather than speak righteousness.
And lying rather than to speak righteousness. Now tell me that ain't the conditions of so-called black and Hispanic people. Tell me. I want to ask black people in the crowd, who loves God by a show of hands? There's got to be somebody that loves God. Nobody love God? Don't you know Jesus said, if you deny me before men, I will deny you before my Father? You can't even raise your hand and shout, I love God? Okay, we got one hand raised. That's beautiful. We love God. But now here's the question. There's a saying, don't just say that you love me, but show me you love me. So how do we not just say, God, I love you? How do you show God that you love him? Does anybody know the answer? Is there anybody who, if you love matters more than your love towards God? No? So you should know the answer. 1 John 2:3 or 5:3 says, this is how we know we love God, if we keep his commandments. What commandments are we told to keep? We're told to keep not just the 10 commandments. We're told to keep all the commandments of the Bible because we are God's chosen people, the Israelites. God made a covenant with our ancestors that if we disobey God, all horrible things would happen to us. And now look at our community right now. A whole bunch of bad's happening to us. Go ahead.
It's Matthew 15:8. Yep. This people draw nigh unto me with their mouth, and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
Yeah, you talk a good game. Nobody talks a better game than that pastor that starts hooping and hollering and sweating with it, wipe the sweat with the handkerchief. Our people say that we love God so much, but you go and rap and listen to music that talks about murdering your own people. How is that loving God? Don't the Bible say, how can you love God whom you have not seen if you don't love your brother who you see every single day? So someone tell me how you love God, but you think that it's okay for black people to get on songs and talk about murdering each other, and Hispanic people to get on songs and talk about murdering each other, and black and Hispanic women to get on songs and talk about how they're going to shake their ass and they just want a nigga that's going to trick on them and then have sex with them afterwards, man. Huh? How is that okay? Someone tell me that. But you love God so much. You got a Bible verse tattooed on you. And the Bible said don't even do that. Where we at? I'm going to get a couple more. Finish that in Isaiah 30. Give me Sirach 5 in the GNT.
Go ahead. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 9.
Start at verse 8. Because let's read this again. This is how you know that our people are the Israelites in the Bible. Go ahead.
Verse 8 from the top. Now go and write down these words. Write them in a book.
God told Isaiah, write what I'm about to tell you in a book. Why are you going to write these words in a book, Isaiah? Go ahead.
They will stand until the end of time.
They're going to stand to the end of time. What words are going to stand to the end of time?
As a witness.
As a what?
As a witness.
As a witness that
these people
are
stubborn rebels.
Stubborn rebels
who refuse to pay attention to the Lord's instructions.
That's our people. They're stubborn rebels who refuse to listen to what God got to say, but will listen to everything that Sexy Red and Future and Jeezy and all them got to say. Go ahead.
They tell the seers, stop seeing visions.
They say, stop telling us the truth. Stop seeing visions. Go ahead.
They tell the prophets, don't tell us what is right.
They say, don't tell us the right thing. Don't tell us the truth.
Tell us nice things.
Tell us nice things. Tell us what we want to hear. Tell me what's going to make me feel good. Because I know that I've been doing so wrong, but I want to keep lying to myself because it doesn't feel good to be told I'm doing wrong. Because when I get told that I'm doing wrong, I have to make serious changes in my life that I don't want to do because I want to make an excuse for being weak. So tell me things that make me feel good. This is what black people have been doing for the past 500 years. Telling themselves and being told things that make them feel good. But black people, we got a problem. We're in trouble. We have the highest murder rate amongst race per capita in the entire country. We have the highest high school dropout rate. We have the lowest literacy rate. We have the highest single parent household rate. We're in big trouble. So what are we going to do? Are we going to act like the problem doesn't exist? When you find out that you have cancer, do you just, maybe it'll go away? No, you try to eradicate the cancer by going to chemotherapy. What's up, brother? What do you mean it's the Bible, the book of life? The book of life is not a literal thing. No. What do you mean, why wouldn't it be?
Malachi Z. York from the original teaching.
You know, Malachi Z. York had the biggest case of pedophilia in the history of the United States of America.
That's what they say.
So that's not what that's what black people say. Well, stop. That's what black children say. Do you not believe black children? No, black children say that. I'll be honest with you, brother. I'm not gonna listen to you sit up here justify a pedophile, because you know what that makes me think that you might be.
It's brown. It's different color.
Oh, okay, so you're a brown person who speaks up for brown pedophiles. That's what you are. Got you.
Yeah, I say what I speak, and I bless me for me I know.
Yeah.
I say what I know. Yeah, I follow what really is.
Let's get this brother some water. You need some water, brother? You do need some water. Right. Yeah. Yeah, you need some water and some milk. Where we at? Read it again.
They tell us, no, don't tell us nice things. Tell us lies.
Tell us lies. Tell us things that make me feel good. Hey, black people, is it okay when black people get on songs and murder each other? It's not okay when the white police murder us. Cool, I agree. But why is it okay when black people get on songs and talk about murdering each other? Can anybody tell me why it's okay? How would you feel? How would you feel if one of your sons got talked about on a song when he got shot in the head? But again, that's what has to happen to one of y'all. Apparently, one of y'all need a son that gets shot in the head. Maybe they all get it then. Maybe one of y'all need a daughter that get pregnant at 14, 15 years old, so that you know, oh wow, maybe the City Girls is not okay music for my children to listen to. Then it's, oh, I get it now. But not a moment until then, huh? Okay, go ahead.
Forget all this gloom.
That's what you say. Forget all this gloom. We want to hear that. Go ahead.
Get off your narrow path.
That's what they say. Get off your narrow path. Stop doing the right thing.
Stop telling us about your Holy One of Israel.
That's what they tell us. Stop telling us about your Holy One of Israel. But we're not going to tell you that. We're going to tell you to get right with God while you still can. Don't you know God says, seek me while he can be found? Because you see all the things that are going on in the world right now. Don't you know that the Bible talks about these things for thousands of years? What, you think it's a coincidence that Taiwan and New York just got hit with multiple earthquakes? And that Israel's at war right now? Russia's at war right now? China's about to be at war? Iran's about to be at war? The United States of America is about to be at war? Right. We're living in unparalleled times. When a country goes to war now, it's not just bows and arrows and a musket that you shoot and you got to, hold on 1 second, get on one knee and reload it. Now countries have a thing where it's called press a button and blow up an entire country. That's what's getting ready to happen to this planet Earth. It's getting ready to get blown to smithereens. And what are you black and Hispanic people going to do to ensure that you don't die when that happens, so that God saves you? Huh? What are you going to do? You don't even know God. You don't even know what color you are. Go ahead.
So Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
That's what Jesus Christ said. He said you're going to hear wars and rumors of wars. Isn't that not what we're hearing on the news right now? When was the last time you black people watched the news? And I'm not talking about Shade Room. I'm not talking about the Shade Room. I'm talking about actual news. Oh, did you see Glorilla and JT from the City Girls are beefing? Ooh, Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole are beefing. For the record, Kendrick Lamar is way better than J. Cole. How about that? Well, that gets some of you niggas' attention. I'm trying to teach y'all the Bible. That apparently won't get y'all attention. I said Kendrick Lamar is better than J. Cole. I got half the people over here turn their head. Nigga, what'd you say? Go ahead.
See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come.
He's ready to squabble. You see that? Hold on, look, this nigga said Kendrick. He disrespected Cole. Go ahead.
For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
It says all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. But we're living at the last days, and that's what we're teaching you so-called black and Hispanic people. Give me Sirach 5 and give me Luke 13:3. I'm going to end off of that. Give me Sirach 5 in the GNT. Start at verse 4.
Sirach 5 and 4 in the GNT. Don't think that the Lord is certain to punish you. Don't think that you can sin and get away with it.
What did God say?
Don't think you can sin and get away with it.
People think that they can sin and get away with it. People think that it's okay to sin. Oh, we're all sinners. Where did the Bible say that? Don't you know God said he don't hear the prayer of a sinner? But half the people out here, here's the issue. You don't even know what sin is. Who can tell me what sin is in the crowd? Somebody. I know there's got to be someone who caught the Holy Ghost a couple Sundays ago that can tell me I don't know nothing about the Bible and can tell me what the Bible actually says. No, but you can't. But I bet you can quote an entire JT song or an entire Sexy Red song. Go ahead.
The Lord does not mind waiting to punish you. Don't be so certain of the Lord's forgiveness that you go on committing one sin after another.
That's what God says. He says, don't be so certain that God's just going to forgive you because you commit all these sins. God's not just this nice guy that you read about in the Bible. Is he nice? Yeah, he can be nice. But he can also be terrifying as well. He can also be vengeful. Don't you know God around this time, couple 2,500, 2,600 years ago, a little more than that, close to 3,000 years ago, killed the firstborn of every living thing in Egypt. The firstborn child, the firstborn grasshopper, the firstborn rat, the firstborn tiger, the firstborn lion. Everything, God did that. And God's getting ready to do that to the United States of America for what's been happening to so-called black and Hispanic people. What's been going on to black and Hispanic people, us being enslaved, us being imprisoned, us being lynched, hung from trees, burned alive, hung at stake. The people who did this to us, they're not going to get away with it. So you can go and listen to J. Cole or Travis Scott, whoever the hell they got up here with your white friends. Your white friends aren't, you're going to find out they're not really your friends. Your white friend Becky or Tanner, they call you all kind of niggas behind your back. I guarantee it, man. And when push comes to shove, understand this, that if they were placed in similar circumstances that their ancestors were put in, they'd put you on a slave ship too. Huh? You don't think if they could, they wouldn't put you in a slave ship again? You don't think that? The only reason why white people don't have you enslaved at the rate at which they used to is because they already did it and they don't need to anymore. You already built up their empire. There's nothing more to build. If there was more to build, guess what? You would be singing "We Shall Overcome" in the goddamn cotton field right now. Where we at? Luke 13:3. But the problem is you'll trust the white man more than you trust your own people. You'll love them more than you love your own people, more than you love your own self. Go ahead.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 13 and verse 3. I tell you, nay, but except ye repent, ye shall all likewise perish.
That's the message for you so-called black and indigenous people, who are the greatest people on the earth, who are God's chosen people, the Israelites. You have to repent, keep God's commandments, and faith in the true Messiah, or you're going to end up just like the rest of the evil people on the earth. With that, I'm going to pass off to the next brother and say all praise to the Most High and Shalom.